and welcome to NAACCtraining.com. I am your host, Dr. Faith Abraham, and we are in module number 7 for coaching for certification. I'm excited to be here. I know you're excited to be here. This is a topic that a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to coaching and it comes to certification, because a lot of people look at certification as something as a do mode versus also learning how to take care of the coach themselves. What do I mean by that? Well, this is module number 7, and this is called self-care for the coach. The truth is, you cannot pour from an empty cup, and we would be remiss to not share with you or teach you that you have to learn how to care for yourself so that you can care for others. It wouldn't be right. It would actually be unjust, and it would be unfortunate for us. So that's why we're dedicating this entire module number 7 for this topic exclusively. Why? Because we just got out of module number 6, which is social media, and the truth is, social media can feel like a full-time job. Okay? It's a lot. You got to think about it. You got to speak your people's language. You know, you want to create beautiful graphics that catch people's eye and attention. You're constantly thinking of marketing. Oh, I should record this. I should record that. You're working through the Facebook groups. You got a social media group or a page. People are sharing stuff. Some stuff is inaccurate, so you're trying to show your expertise and correct that. And then other things, I can continue, couldn't I? But understand that all of that has a way of weighing down on you. And remember, as a coach, you are a business owner. Call yourself a coachpreneur. That's my word, okay? Call yourself a coachpreneur. But and know that this, as an entrepreneur, your time is not clock in and clock out. So you literally have the entire day. But if you have kids, a wife, a husband, people that depend and count on you, you can't go 24 hours a day, which most entrepreneurs can and will do because they like what they do. But you can't do that, because if you did, you would wear yourself out and you wouldn't be able to maximize the whole point of being an entrepreneur, which is to provide independence, provide fiscal freedom, and provide, here's another one, time freedom. I couldn't think of a savvy word, so I just gave you time freedom. Nonetheless. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about self-care for the coach. As you know, I am a counselor. My business is RCS LLC, Restoration Counseling Services LLC, and I love what I do. I believe that since I was little, I've always been the one people call on for advice, for help, for I don't understand this, can you figure it out, and then tell me how to do it. You know, and I did it. I don't know where it came from. Back then I didn't know, but of course as I've grown older I know. But back then I didn't know where it came from. I just used to do it, and people used to call me, and that's what it was. As I got older, I started doing counseling, but I did counseling for 10 years without getting a single dime. Okay? But now I have my business where I coach and I counsel, and it's been one of the most freeing, liberating things ever, because I get fulfilled by helping people to acknowledge, to recognize, to change and transform and come into their best selves as intended before they were even born. But one thing I also recognize in my counseling is that I can become very consumed with my clients. And I never cross the line of being too friendly or being too, jovial or what have you. I have a fun personality, so my clients always love how I make them feel comfortable. They smile. They just have a way of, and an easiness of speaking to me and revealing all their secrets. They're like, I don't know why I just shared all that with you. I know why, it's my gift. I know why, it's my gift, and so, but sometimes the things that I hear, the things that people share with me, it hurts, and I've been affected by the stories of some of my clients, to the point where I can leave the office, but the office doesn't leave me. I'm still thinking about it. I'm concerned. And the truth is, if you understand how the human brain works, you know that worry is a task. It's something literally that you're doing. Even if you're just sitting there, but you're worrying, your brain is perceiving that worry as a task. And so even if you go to clean or you go to work or you're doing whatever you're doing, if you're worrying, then you're multitasking by default because you are worrying. And if you have a heart and compassion for people, the truth is, it's hard to run away from that. And when you worry, it takes mental space, it takes physical energy, it takes mental energy. And so you can literally find yourself beyond drained at the end of the day. And so what I wanted to do is, and what I'm going to do is give you my 6 as a coach, as a counselor, as someone who has been doing this for over I don't even know now, but over 10 years, going into 12 now, because the past 2 years I've actually gotten paid. The first 10 years I wasn't, and actually my whole life I wasn't. So that's more than 10 years actually. Okay, all right, well, that's encouraging. So just to let you know, my top 6 pieces of advice for you as a coach, to keep your sanity, to keep your cup full, and to have you be as effective as you can be. Number 1, you ready? Get your pen, your paper, write this down. This is a journal. This is something that you're going to have to make sure that you enforce and that you do. Number 1 is take a day off. I know, it sounds so simple. I know, that's like duh, but it's not duh. Because there's always something that you can do as an entrepreneur. There's always something that needs to get done as an entrepreneur. There's always something that you want to share, or, oh, I found this and I thought about you. Oh, this reminds me of this client. Oh, da 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 da. Take a day off. Schedule it in your acuity. Day off. You are open Monday through Saturday. That's it. Well, I gotta have Sunday, or I gotta come in that day. That's the only day I have off. Then that means you're not my client. Okay, I have another one for you. All right, that means you're not my client. Or if Sunday is not your day, make sure you take Monday off. So you're open Tuesday through Sunday, but you take Mondays off. You need that off day. You need that day to refuel, to recharge. What can you do on those days? You can sleep. You cannot think about your business. As much and as hard as that is, and as tempting as it is to do, don't think about your business. You can get a pedicure, a manicure. You can go jogging. You can go swimming. You can go fishing. Whatever it is that's relaxing to you, that's fulfilling and rewarding for you, that doesn't have to do with business, take a day off so that you can keep your sanity and you can refill your cup so that you can continue to pour on others. One thing that's never a pretty sight is a coach who is so wrapped up in what it is that they're doing that they lose themselves in the process. And the truth is, for some of you, you notice that moms do this a lot. Once they have kids, they lose their identity, they lose themselves. You're looking at them like, man, I remember before you had kids, you were like this and like that, and now you just changed. Because it's very, and it's a slow fade. So take care of yourself in the sense of taking a day off. Use that time to rest. You know, binge watch a show or something. Watch TV. Go to a Bible study. Go relax on the beach. Just do something away from your business. What's going to happen is it allows you to refresh. It allows you to refocus. It allows you to stay in touch with yourself. And it allows you to be a better version of you so that you can help other people be a better version of them. Number 2. Have the right mindset. And one of the biggest mindsets that you can possibly have is you cannot save the world. What? Truth. You can't save the world. That's not your job. Your job is just to help your clients. You can't even save your clients. I tell this to married couples all the time. You can't save your spouse. You cannot. And as a matter of fact, that is not your job. As a spouse, your job is to undergird your spouse and help them through whatever it is that they're working through. You guys work together so that you can achieve certain goals, but your job is absolutely positively not to save them. And as a coach, your job is absolutely positively not to save your client. You can't save your client. All you can do is provide them the right tools, the right resources, the right information, so that they can make decisions that will take steps that will help their life. But you do not have the power to save anyone. Always keep that in mind. And when you keep that in mind, you understand, okay, I've done my part. Now you got to do your part. And guess what? As a coach, you can challenge your client. You can say, okay, I did my part. Now, what's your part? This is your assignment. How are you going to fulfill your assignment? Go forth in your assignment. The next time I see you, we're going to discuss your assignment. And after we discuss your assignment, then you're going to tell me how that affected you and how that's helped your life and how that's transformed your life. That's what you can do. And so when you have the right mindset, it helps you to not worry as much. It helps you to keep a good, solid perspective on what you're doing and the role that you're actually playing. Remember, our goal as a coach is to make an impact, not to save the whole world. Okay? Number 2, do what you can and leave it at that. Do what you can and leave it at that. I believe I just discussed that a little bit with you, so let's move on. Always stay positive. Stay positive in the amount of clients that you have, in the amount of work that you're doing, and what's coming to you, and how you coach and counsel, or really just coach. Stay positive. Stay positive. And coaches, let me say this too. Know your limits. When you realize that, hey, my client is showing signs of depression. My client is showing signs of bipolar. My client is showing signs of a need for inner healing, like dealing with some issues from the past, some soul issues that are affecting them. Know your limits. When in your networking, which we talk about in the next module, in your networking, find some mental health professionals, find some spiritual counselors, find some counselors and coaches, find some people that can help your client. Keep a database, a Rolodex. I know that's outdated, but a Rolodex of people that you can reach out to that can assist your client. One thing I found is sometimes I'll have a counseling client that needs an expertise that's beyond me, and I may lose them initially as a client, but once they get what they're looking for and once they get to a certain place, they'll come back and they'll say, yeah, when I was over there, I was realizing some things. I know I was kind of boisterous with you or really assured with you, but I just wasn't ready for what it was that you were doing. So when I went over there and I started doing this, I recognized what it was you were trying to help me with, and so now I'm back. One of the most satisfying things you'll ever hear, I'm telling you. But just stay positive and know your limits, okay? Number 3, eventually you will need to shift to digital. Now, I am an advocate of being productive. I like to be productive. I like to get things done. I like to see that my efforts are going forth and they're producing something. Something is coming out of my hands, working and putting things together, right? But I also recognize that I only have a certain amount of time. I only have 24 hours a day. And even within those 24-hour days, I probably have 16 hours to even get something done. So if you can decide in your mind, which is module 8, and I'm giving you, spoiler alert, I'm letting you know what's coming in module 8, shifting into the digital age. Eventually you're going to have to shift over to digital so that you can really be effective. There's just not enough time in the day to reach all the people that you're meant to reach. But a good digital platform and system in which you're offering your services and your abilities in a digital way, in a digital format, will help you bring money in while you're doing other things. So I can very much be playing with my kids outside in the yard, and they're like, oh yeah, woohoo, yeah. I'm spending quality time. I'm seeing my kids grow. And while I'm watching my kids outside, somebody somewhere in the world is on my website purchasing a course or a class, and I'm still making money. Self-care. One of those aspects of self-care is knowing that eventually you're going to have to shift to digital. But that's module 8. Let's keep going. Number 4, don't overexert yourself. Guys, I am a woman of excellence. I know throughout all of these courses I have said excellence, excellence, excellence numerous times, but I believe in excellence. I like doing things excellently. It's not going to be perfect because I'm not perfect, but at least if it's done excellently, you know the type of person you're dealing with, okay? And so when I say don't overexert yourself, that means you don't have to do so much. So even in my counseling business, I price my sessions really fair. I'm really fair with my sessions, especially with the expertise that I bring, the resources that I give you, the way I go about doing our sessions and things like that. I'm priced very affordably, but I would go after each session and I would send an email with the like an overview of the session and their session assignment. Okay, well, if you have 4 or 5 sessions in a day and your brain is already fried from engaging and listening and helping these people, sending emails is just a whole nother thing. And so I was overexerting myself. I was extending myself beyond what was necessary. So what I did was I modified some things in my business. I don't send out emails. I say, this is your assignment. You want to write this down? Get your phone out so you don't forget, because in our next session, I'm going to go over it. Well, how do you remember what you said? Easy. Before the session, I go into their folder and I wrote it down. I put it in the file folder. I closed it and I put it away. Or I asked them, okay, what was your assignment from last session? Go figure. But don't overexert yourself. Don't do extra. Be excellent, but you don't have to do extra, okay? People will know that you're giving them your best when you do. Number 5, get paid, for goodness sakes, what you're worth. Like I said, I'm priced affordably, but I'm priced at a place that I'm comfortable, that my clients are comfortable, that there's room so I can pay my bills, and not my personal bills, my business bills. The platforms and the office space and this and that. I'm priced to where I can do a certain number of sessions. Boom, that's going to pay for the rent. That's going to pay for this. That's going to pay for that. After that, that's profit, right? Get paid what you're worth. Don't be scared to put a price tag. Usually when people say, oh, that's so expensive, oh my God, usually it's because they don't know and understand the value of what you're offering, or it very well could be that you're just overly priced based on the industry and your expertise and what you're offering. But usually it's because of point number 1. And then also sometimes people, when they don't have the money, they will exert their lack on you. Oh wow, that's really high. Well, I mean, it's just the ebook. Why does the ebook have to cost $17? That's about as much as a physical book. Well, if you can't afford it, just say you can't afford it. And go save, get the $17 and buy the ebook, because you know you need it. Get paid what you're worth, okay? When you get paid with what you're worth, it gives you a sense of satisfaction and knowing that you are doing your work, you're doing your part, and you're being compensated reasonably. Okay. Number 6, get help when you need it. I told you, social media can be almost like a full-time job. if you're doing well financially and your numbers and your profits show that you have some leeway, get a virtual assistant that can help you with your social media, that can, maybe they can post for you, or if you can't afford them posting for you, they can create stuff for you and then you can post it. For some of you, I noticed some people, what they like to do is they will have something done by a virtual assistant or some graphics created from Fiverr, and then they'll also upload their own stuff that they do from their cell phone or just in the heat of the moment. That's really great. That's content. That's content. That's content that sells you, that sells, you know, that this is not just, oh, I'm just coaching to make a buck. This is really a lifestyle. This is something I believe in, right? And so, you know, but you got to know when you need help. You got to know when you need a virtual assistant. Virtual assistant, somebody you can hire online and they'll do it for you. You guys just communicate. You pay them. They do it. Boom. It's done. It's great. Something that we used in some of our businesses that really helped to take the strain off of myself, you know, and my husband. Sometimes if you're an authorpreneur, you're an author and you're trying to create these awesome graphics, stop doing that. Focus on selling the book. Focus on meeting the needs of the people through the topic of the book, and let somebody else create graphics for you. You know, the way you're going to care for yourself is learning to invest in yourself. Okay? Invest in somebody creating and doing this for you. They work for you. Right? That you can have somebody that builds your website, that updates your website, that creates your graphics, that does your social media. You can even have people who, like I said, who love you, who now are an admin in the group that you have on Facebook, so that you're not having to do all of this stuff and lose yourself in the process. Number 7, don't be afraid to say no. That's self-care? Yes. That is self-care, because when you say no, you're freeing up your time. You're freeing up your life. There's a saying that says, every money ain't good money. I know it's broken English, but just follow me. Every money ain't good money, meaning that every client that you get may not be worth it. Sometimes when people are haggling with you on price, you're like, yeah, I just need that so I can pay this bill, pay that bill. But you're going to pay through your nose because that client has a wrong mindset that's trying to drag you down and pull on you more than what they're willing to pay. That's not fair. And that's not self-care. You got to know your worth. You got to be able to stand up and say, you know what? No, or I can't do that right now, but this is what I can do. Or you learn one of the greatest techniques in the world that my professor, when I was getting my master's, said, hey, let me think about it. Let me think about it and I'll get back to you. It's a gentler way of saying no. But say no. It's okay. And it's going to help you preserve yourself, preserve your business, and really give you longevity within whatever industry you're in. That is module number 7, self-care for the coach. And let me say this, if you find yourself constantly thinking or worrying about your clients, what you have to end up doing is turning it over. Wow, yeah, that really affected me, but pray for them, or send out some thoughts of love and kindness and peace to them. Like, man, that would have broken my heart, but I'm so glad they're still standing. I pray that that what we're doing together is going to help them heal, help them grow, and move forward. Man, I thank God for helping them out in that time, and He's still helping them out now. And just turn it over. Turn it over. And like I said before, if the issue that they're dealing with goes beyond you, know when to call it quits, or hey, you know what, let's put a pause on what we're doing. I want to refer you to somebody, or I want to strongly suggest you do this to help you with that. And that's a well-rounded coach. A coach that pays attention to not only whatever you're coaching them on, but also the other things that concern them. And any sane person will say, wow, they really do care. And that's what it's all about. That is module number 7. Let's go. Module number 8 is on the way.